If there's one man the England top order don't want to look at right now, it has to be Kuldeep Yadav getting rid of the top 5 batters. The only batter Kuldeep Yadav didn't take the wicket off was Joe Root. Otherwise, you name it, every batter that's there in the English top order fell prey to the mastery of Kuldeep Yadav that we saw in Dharamsala. When you that he has a love affair of sorts with, because that's where he made his debut, and it looked like he was completely at home when he came here after 7 years, and it's as if things came to a full circle for Kuldeep Yadav, picking up 5 crucial wickets, breaking the bone of the English batting, giving away just 72 runs and ensuring that the Indian team comes out to bat. Despite them losing the toss, England opting to bat first, but Kuldeep Yadav making it look like England didn't make the most of the conditions, clearly, because as Kuldeep Yadav also turned up in the press conference, said that those were conditions in which the pitch doesn't break down that much given the moisture, given the overhead conditions. But then he was extremely happy with the performance of not just his own bowling, but the way that the entire team came together. Let's tell you what is it that Kuldeep Yadav exactly said. In fact, there's interesting bits over there, because you thought that Dhruv Jurel had a role to play in the dismissal of Oli Pop. Well, wasn't quite the case entirely. That's what Kuldeep Yadav revealed. He's also gone ahead and talked, in case you saw those visuals when the Indian team was coming off the field, there was a little bit of a banter going on, an exchange of words, with of course some smiles as well being exchanged between the two of them, talking about Kuldeep Yadav and Ravichandran Ashwin. What is it that Ravichandran Ashwin told Kuldeep Yadav? Let's tell you about that as well. But first up, let's tell you about England getting all out for 218. What Kuldeep Yadav made of that? He said that the wicket here is good to bat on. The pitch doesn't break easily. The ball was gripping and I was getting good drift, and it was courtesy, in fact, all the drift that he was getting, that he was able to produce that magical delivery, let's say, that got rid of Zach Crawley, a very crucial breakthrough as well. And just talking a bit more, he said that because there was some moisture right at the start, the sun wasn't beating out initially, given the overhead conditions, everything put together, the pitch wouldn't have broken down easily, and wasn't quite the case. And that's where England sort of misinterpreted things, and Kuldeep Yadav, given the limited assistance that he was getting from the track, he felt that he was putting everything together. There was some grip, and he was able to get that additional drift today because of the overhead conditions, because of the thinness in the air, and given the form that he is in, he's absolutely enjoying bowling at the moment. He's talked about his bowling as well, because remember, Kuldeep Yadav's confidence was low not too long back. He's seen a resurgence since the last year, since the Asia Cup. Remember, when he remodeled his bowling action, he's talked about how it was a difficult period for him, given all the changes that he's made. So let's tell you about that now. So about the consistent run, that's also one of the things that Kuldeep Yadav was asked as to what kind of confidence does he get now that he's getting consistent. Remember, didn't play the first 2 games, did play now, or has played 3 games on the trot now. Didn't play Vizag, didn't play in Hyderabad, but did feature in Rajkot, then in Ranchi, and now playing a 3rd consecutive game with the Indian team. So he says that playing regularly does of course give you a lot of confidence and game awareness as well. You also get to understand your own bowling when you're in that situation, and when you're playing the same opposition again and again, you also get to know what to bowl to which batter, because that gives you a fair understanding of the opposition as well. So those were the thoughts of Kuldeep Yadav on him getting all the confidence at the moment, since he's enjoying his bowling, since he's getting the backing, and everything seems to be falling in place for him. And he was then asked about the change in his run up as well. Remember, this is something that's been talked about for quite some time now. As I said, it was in the Asia Cup last year. Right before that, when he had remodeled his bowling action a bit, he had also changed his run up, started coming a little closer, much straighter, comes closer to the umpire as well. So all those changes that he made also helped him get a little bit of extra speed as well, which probably would have played a part today in Ben Stokes' dismissal when the ball came flying into his pads. And this is what he had to say. He said that that time that he was changing his action, it took him good 6 to 8 months to get his rhythm right. now he is enjoying every bit of it. In fact, he says that he did try to do something. He's not over experimenting at the moment, but as far as extra pace is concerned, he did try to rush in Ranchi a couple of times because the pitch over there wasn't quite as quick, but he felt he didn't have to do any of that today because the pitch did offer the kind of quickness that he needed, which is why he didn't have to increase his run in or he didn't have to increase his run up speed. Today was just business as usual for him. He did try something like that in Ranchi though, where he did try increasing his run up a bit, did try running in a little faster. Today he didn't have to do any of that because another takeaway as far as his assessment of the pitch is concerned, and somebody who's picked 5 wickets, you take his assessment very, very seriously, that the pitch does offer a decent amount of pace off the deck for spinners. And then of course the fact that there was a bit of an exchange between him and Ravichandran Ashwin, good banter as the netizens are seeing it to be. But what is it that the conversation exactly was? Because first the ball was given to Kuldeep Yadav, who then gave the ball to Ravichandran Ashwin. Ashwin saying no, you got to take it back, you've taken 5 wickets. But what exactly is it that Ravichandran Ashwin, in the good humor that he has, then told Kuldeep Yadav? Let's tell you about that. He says that he's played a lot of cricket with both Ravindra Jadeja and Jaddu as well, and he's learned a lot from them. And this he said during the times that he's had to sit out. He was in fact even saying that even though he was not playing in Hyderabad, which was where the first test had taken place, he was always in conversation with the two of them as to what is it that they could be doing new, even though he was on the sideline. So it's always good, he says, to be around thinking players, very good at their art as well, to be picking their brains and to be learning from them as well. And then he says that Ash is a very special player. He said that I've already gotten 35 balls, so you keep this one as you picked up a 5-fer today. So 35 5-fers, in case you didn't get the reference, 35 5-fers, that's what Ravichandran Ashwin has. And then he says in his own humorous way that I've got 35, you can keep this one, it's well deserved on the day. And lastly, about Ashwin's future, his legacy, Kuldeep Yadav, because of all the enjoyment that he's having with Ravichandran Ashwin and the learning that he's had from him, he feels that Ashwin should continue to play for India as long as possible. So those were the thoughts of Kuldeep Yadav, who absolutely took the game away from England on the opening day. Yes, there's still 4 more days of play left. Let's see if the match indeed does go into a 5th day. But Kuldeep Yadav, the man of the moment, putting India in a very, very commanding position in this test match.